Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the man who created India, who unified India, the book by Balraj Krishan. Today we talk about his chapter on Junagarh Nawab's accession to Pakistan. Maybe we all do not know that Junagarh was actually acceded to Pakistan in a conspiracy. I'll read now. In Junagarh, a section to Pakistan on 15th August, Patel saw the first danger for splitting India again. He stated, after partition we had a huge problem. Those who partitioned the country had mental reservation. They thought that this partition would not last to Junagarh and got its accession to Pakistan. We woke up in time, and those who tried to play the game saw that we were not sleeping. In Junagarh, Patel was represented with a fait accompli. Mountbatten recognized that Junagarh as Pakistan territory in his report to the king. My chief concern as Governor General was to prevent the Government of India from committing itself on Junagarh issue to act. Then it will be an act of war against what is now Pakistan territory. My own physical presence as Governor General of India was the best insurance against the actual outbreak of war with Pakistan. Mountbatten confessed to Nehru in no position even to declare a war. Since I happen to know that their military commanders have put it to them in writing, a declaration of war with India can only end up in inevitable and ultimate defeat of Pakistan. Mountbatten's role in Junagarh was against India's interest. He had no control over Junagarh's actions nor over Pakistan's. He nevertheless assumed that he could use his position as Governor General in averting a war with Pakistan by binding India to three conditions: a reference of Junagarh to the UNO, preventing Indian troops from entering Junagarh, and an offer of holding a plebiscite in the Junagarh district. Reluctantly, Patel agreed to a plebiscite even when Jinnah had not asked for it. He rejected the first two. The first would have given Pakistan loco standi in Junagarh and thereby an international issue. The issue would have been internationalized as it had happened later in the case of Kashmir. Mountbatten failed to consider that in Junagarh's accession to Pakistan would lie Jinnah's tactical shrewdness. He must have seen, or if he did not, it certainly turned out that the accession of Junagarh to Pakistan placed India an acute dilemma for which any escape could be turned to the advantage of Pakistan. There was also another danger: Pakistan securing a foothold in Junagarh by landing troops through the port of Vallabhbhai. Once on Junagarh, India could not have dislodged Pakistan from there. Mountbatten faced opposition not from Nehru but from Patel with unfailing determination. Patel refused to oblige Mountbatten in two respects. He objected to forcibly dragging of our 80% Hindu population of Junagarh into Pakistan by accession in defiance to all democratic principles. He was also concerned about accession setting up a dangerous precedent. Junagarh's accession, according to Campbell Johnson, was a direct challenge to the essential validity of the whole accession policy which was with disastrous effects both on Kathiawar state and upon the Hyderabad negotiations. What supported India's claim was that Junagarh, unlike Jodhpur, had no contiguity with Pakistan by land, though it could establish a direct link with Karachi through its port, Biraval, just 300 miles away. Landlocked Junagarh was separated from Pakistan by territories of Kutch, Baroda, Namagarh, Porbandar and Gondal, Junagarh's map. According to H.P. Hodgson, had absurd complexity, fragments of other states were embedded in Junagarh, and in fragments of Junagarh were embedded in the other states, while an arm of Junagarh separated one substantial outlying portion of Maratha state of Baroda from another and from the sea. Patel called Junagarh's accession to Pakistan an act of perfidy. As early as 11th April 1947, the Muslim ruler had camouflaged his real intentions by stating that what Junagarh preeminently stands for its solidarity of Kathiawar and would welcome the formation of self-contained group of Kathiawar states. He deliberately omitted any reference to Pakistan. His Diwan Abdul Qadir Muhammad Hussain categorically repudiated on 22nd April allegations that Junagarh was thinking of joining Pakistan. He left for Europe in May for medical treatment, handing over charge to Shah Nawaz Bhutto, whose son Zulfikar Hati Ali Bhutto later became Prime Minister of Pakistan. Nabi Baksh, Junagarh's representative at the rulers' conference on 25th July, told Mountbatten that his intention was to advise Nawab to accede to India. He had also given a similar impression to Patel when he called on him, and also to Jam Sahib of Nawanagar, his neighbor. Junagarh had, on the other hand, secretly recruited to the state force Baluchis and Hers from Pakistan. And a decision had been taken that the local Baluchi and Bahauddin College was to be affiliated to the Sindh University in Karachi. According to H.V. Hodgson, handing over of Junagarh was full trap, and there was a good reason to suspect that some of those traps had been deliberately laid by Pakistan. Hodgson believes that Bhutto obeyed Jinnah's advice given on 16 July to keep out under all circumstances until 15th August. With the termination of the paramountcy, Bhutto would have been entitled to take an independent decision. Meanwhile, Jinnah assured Bhutto that he would not allow Junagarh to starve, as Biraval was not far off from Karachi. This was in response to Bhutto's fear that Junagarh stands all surrounded by Hindu rulers. This was in response to Bhutto's fears that Junagarh stands all alone, surrounded by Hindu. This was in response to Bhutto's fears that Junagarh stands all alone, surrounded by Hindu rulers, territory, and British Indian Congress provinces. Bhutto hoped to lay in his belief that we are of course connected by sea with Pakistan, as they once in the past actually formed part of Sindh. Though the Muslim population of Junagarh is nearly 20% and non-Muslim form 80%, 7 lakh Muslims of Kathiawar survived because of Junagarh. I consider that no sacrifice is too great to preserve the prestige, honor, and rule of His Highness and to protect Islam and the Muslims of Kathiawar. The Jinnah Bhutto conspiracy had dangerous implications. If Junagarh was allowed to accede to Pakistan, VP Menon thought its detachment would turn into the hot house plant with no powers of survival. What worried Menon was that the immediate potentialities of turmoil, when stability was crying need for the hour, for the day, for the time, the Nawab's action would have undesirable effects on law and order in Kathiawar as a whole. It would extend the communal trouble to areas where at present there was no such problem and peace was prevailing.